Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am so excited to be in partnership with Profiles Backstage. I know you guys have seen my videos where I talk about all of their amazing products all the time, so a huge shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. Now that being said, I'm going to be testing out their newest launch, which I am extremely excited about. When they mentioned it to me, I about screamed of excitement. So if you guys have been watching my toe videos or anywhere I use just white, I talk about their white magic gel polish, and they recently released their color collection. So you're gonna have your yellow, blue, green, all your staple colors that you need to create any design. And then of course you can always mix those colors to create your own colors. So we are gonna be putting them to the test in today's video. Now before we get into the video, I did wanna go ahead and just quickly mention that I feel like a lot of you guys steer away from shopping their website because unfortunately it does ask for a license in order to create an account to shop on their site. I want to say this very loud and clear. It is not actually required to input a license number. So all you simply have to do is go onto their website, go ahead and create an account. You can absolutely skip that section where it says license number required. Bypass that, create your account, put your information in, and you'll be able to shop their website. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. We are kickstarting the Christmas season very early. I figured this was like a perfect design for these colors since they are nice and vibrant and the design calls for beautiful, bright colors. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Getting right into today's video, I did go ahead and pre-prep my practice hand. We have the natural nails on the practice hand, and then I went ahead and used that like white tack stuff to adhere it. 10 out of 10, I do not recommend that process. It did not stick really at all. I just went ahead and used it because it gives a little bit of a cushion for the nail. So I will definitely be trying to find a better alternative for those who want to use their practice hand for press-on nails. I would honestly gonna try to use our easy tape instead of the tack, but we're just kind of going with it for today's video. I'm using the Primo files from Profiles Backstage. These are their washable files. I don't think they're the sturdiest at all whatsoever, but I feel like if you're looking for something that's washable, these would be a really good option. We're going to be starting off by swatching the gel polishes from their newest launch, which I'm absolutely excited about. I have been waiting for this, and I know a lot of you guys probably have too. So I know you guys have seen me talk about their white magic gel polish on my channel a lot. I use it a lot for my toes. It's my white go-to, very opaque, beautiful, bright white color. Well, they have now recently launched in the same formula their primary colors, which I am excited about and will be using in today's video very thoroughly. So we started off with the yellow, then we had orange. Now I'm swatching the violet color for you guys. Next we have the staple blue color that is absolutely beautiful. I really do think that these are super vibrant, very opaque. The consistency of them is not super thick, but it's not runny as well, which I think is like pretty much what you want to look for when it comes to a really good gel polish. And then next we have their green color, which is of course another primary color. We need all of these colors. I am so excited, especially going into like Christmas time. This is going to be a perfect green. And then we cannot forget about the red. It is absolutely beautiful. So you guys can see with just simply one coat, it is extremely opaque, super pigmented. Now I do want to go ahead and mention before we get into it that you want to make sure you are fully curing this in the light for 60 seconds. And then once you're done with all the nail art or whatever you're doing, go ahead and cure it one more time. Because they are extremely pigmented, you want to make sure that you fully cure it. Otherwise, you can get some chipping or it could just not cure all the way. But from my experience, at the end of this video, you will notice that it is in perfect condition, and I just went ahead and put it in the light for the 60 seconds and it seemed to work. For reference, I am using my Not Polish LED light for that portion of the curing. Now I'm starting off, we are going to be doing a very Merry Christmas type of vibe. I kind of went back and forth whether I wanted to go in with Christmas nail art, but I feel like because of the colors that I was going to be using, I just could not opt out with Christmas nails, especially with this design. So here we are. We're starting off with the blue. I'm pretty much covering like the majority of the nail with it. And then I'm making sure that that cuticle area is nice and clean with a line detail brush. And then I'm going to be going in and curing that for, again, like I mentioned, 60 seconds. And then once we're done and out of the light, I'm going in with the white one, and I'm going to be adding that for our snow. It is extremely bright, and you can see how it easily covers that blue. I am overlapping them, so you guys can kind of get a glimpse of that as well. Like I said, the white is my go-to all-time favorite for a good crisp white toenail. It looks so good. So I'm just going to go in and kind of add a little bit of grooves up top to give the illusion of like fluffy snow. And I'm not doing this like in any specific way. I'm kind of just doing it on there randomly. Now for the video, when I was deciding what I wanted to film, I wanted to really incorporate all of the colors so you can see how well they worked or how well they didn't work. I always like to test things when it comes to just the application portion, but also for nail art. I feel like if you have a gel polish that works for both things, I am 100% sold. So here we're going in with the red color, and we're going to be doing the little house, and the house obviously is red. I will say that you can absolutely tell a little bit where I'm overlapping the red on the white and where I'm overlapping it on the blue. It's not a big difference, but I can see it, and I'm sure you guys can see it on screen as well. Now that being said, once I went in with all the other little details and once we're finished with the entire design, can you tell? I would say absolutely not, and you'll be able to notice that at the end as well. So it's just kind of a matter of like bypassing that for a little bit, but once you go in with all the details, you cannot even notice that there is a difference. So I definitely really like the coverage. Obviously red against blue is a huge difference, but you can definitely see that it is a little bit on the sheer side just over that. Now, of course, as you can tell from the swatches, it didn't look like that on the swatches. So obviously the less product you're trying to kind of lather on there, it's obviously going to be a little bit more on the sheer side. So that's kind of just a thing that I wanted to mention. And then we're going in with a little snow, and I'm always curing in between layers whenever I feel like it is necessary. And I'm just taking the black one to outline everything, and I'm not even gonna lie, I absolutely love it for outlining. It is the perfect consistency that kind of helps you just glide everything where you need it to go. And I definitely feel like I'm going to be using this a lot more versus my actual gel paints and any other products that I've been using in the past, just because, like I said, it glides on so nicely. So I'm already sold on that. But I'm just going to be going in with all the tiny little details. And then I'm actually going to be using the yellow and mixing a little bit of a brown color to add in some of the stuff that goes up on top of the roof. And just for reference, I mixed brown using yellow, blue, and red. So if you guys do not have a brown on hand, that is pretty much how you mix it. And then of course you can make it lighter or darker, just depending on what type of hue you kind of want in it. And then of course you can always just eyeball that, and that is always for your own liking. Now at this point, I remembered that I had the glow in the dark top coat from Profile, so I figured I would go ahead and add it to the snow just to give like a glowy vibe. And I figured I would go ahead and do it before I went into the rest of the nail art so that I don't have to be concerned about getting over top of the nail art that I'm adding. So we're just adding that strictly over the white portions, and then we're going to be curing that in the light again for a full 60 seconds. Now we're going to be going in with Snoopy. He is adorable, but I'm going to be starting off with the head. I kind of tried to start off with the biggest portion or the more complicated portion, and I feel like the head is always the trickiest. So I went in with that, and then I'm sure you guys are probably wondering why I'm going back in with the white and overlapping it on the white. So because I went in with the glow polish, I want Snoopy to not be glowing. So I am overlapping the white gel polish and just making my life a little bit easier by doing the silhouette of his body. In that way, like I said, his body isn't glowing and it's just the snow. So he's going to be on top of the glowing snow. And I'm just trying to kind of eyeball it. I wasn't being super careful with drawing it. It just ended up working out really well. Now, I do think the consistency of the gel polish is helping in my favor, and the fact that I'm honestly kind of just drawing and it's actually gliding where I need it to glide. And I'm just infilling any little area, and then again we're going to be curing in the light. I am going to be doing his hat a little bit more on the tricky side. It's such a small proportion to the nail, so I do feel like for those tiny little details I would absolutely prefer a thicker gel, just because the smaller the area you're going to be covering, the more sheer the polish is gonna look. And I really did want it to look a little bit more vibrant. So I think for like smaller details, I definitely would go with their regular gel paints, and you'll be able to notice how it looks fine. But once I get to the green, it's just a little too on the sheer side for my liking, and it wasn't as vibrant as I expected it to be or as I wanted it to be. And of course, always take in mind that I do have a very dark color as my base, so that could always be the deciding factor of whether it looks vibrant or not. I'm sure if I had just white or nude, it would pop a lot more, but the purpose of this is for me to try to make my life a little bit easier. I want to get really into doing tons of nail art, and finding the perfect products to make my life just slightly more easier is always the better option, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do. Trial and error until we find the perfect products to work with for every occasion. And then again, I'm going to be going in with the black and just outlining everything, and I'm going to be adding all the details like in the face, in the hat, and the little arm and everything. And then again, we're gonna be doing that same brown. I do believe I added a little bit more white at this point just to make it a little bit more vibrant. And then I put in a little bit more yellow as well to make it a little bit more on the orange side. And then we're gonna be just drawing our little logs and of course our little stick tree type of vibe. And I'm always just drawing the silhouette first, and then I go in with all the little details that's gonna really make it pop. Always, always, always curing between layers. So I'll be doing all of the brown, and then I'll be going in and curing that. And then once that's cured, I'll be going in with the second color and just keep it going until the design is finished. I'm going in with the green and adding all those tiny little leaves, and then I'm going to be going in and outlining everything once again with black, and always, always, always cure in between layers. It is important for 60 seconds this time. We're not just flash curing because like I mentioned, they are very, very pigmented and extremely thick. Now the last nail consists of Charlie Brown. So for the skin tone, he has like a very pinky, almost not pink color. So I just took a little bit of white and some red and then added a very small smidge of yellow, I believe, to kind of bring the little peachiness out as well. Very, very, very barely there color. So I'm going to be doing his head first, and then we're going to be going in with the body and then all the details. Now I do think whenever we're doing a character like this, I feel like it's important to really, really pay attention to the structure of the entire body, or it can make a huge difference on whether it looks like it or not. So his head is definitely on the larger side, so I want to make sure that I am making that large, and then the body is going to be a lot smaller than obviously like a regular human would be. So I am definitely going to be focusing on those proportions to make it as realistic as possible and close to his character. So again, the head is on the bigger side. I'm going to be doing the tiny neck, and then we're going to be going in with the red for his coat. I do apologize for getting out of frame. I think sometimes I get a little too into it and I forget that I'm recording. I'm just so focused on getting the nail art perfect. So I'm so sorry, but you guys kind of get the gist of it as I kind of move it back up a little bit. Always doing the silhouette. I feel like this is a little bit easier, but I will also be trying to trace out designs in the future to see if that kind of helps as well. And then the little blue jeans, and of course the shoes, going back in with that brown color that we mixed in. And then going back in with that black to make the details really make the character pop. I am loving going in with this black gel polish. It just makes it so much easier to get that perfect little detail without being hard to move or without it running everywhere. So definitely this one is my favorite.
This is for my day ones. Don't forget the ones I made ya. Deep side sweating out flavor. This is for my day ones. Day one. Showed up. Day one before the glow up. Don't need to ask for them show love.
Now I'm working my way back to the house one, and I'm going to start off by adding the black lines. And this is going to be for our little lights. It's going to be super, super cute, and I was so excited to do this. So we're just adding that little squiggly curved lines throughout. And then we're going to be adding the colors in for the actual little light bulbs. Now here's the kicker. I decided to actually use the glow in the dark liners from Profiles Backstage because I wanted it to glow so bad. So we're going to be seeing the results at the end as well. I am just going to continue to draw that, and then we're going to be curing in the light. And then I'm going to be using the yellow, green, blue, and red liners from their glow collection to do those tiny little lights. And then I went ahead and top coated with matte. I apologize for not sharing that on the video, but that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you guys next time.